looks on their faces was absolutely horrible.
Devastating wildfires can happen and are going to happen again. If you didn't believe it before the summer of 2002, you should be convinced now. Hundreds of homes and other structures were lost just in Colorado. Some firefighters lost their lives as well. The danger is not over. In fact, the potential for catastrophic fire remains high in Douglas County's red zone.
Probably the easiest way to explain the red zone is an area where we have dense forest vegetation, dense trees and shrubs, and we place homes within those areas, and that increases the fire risk.
It's identified those areas where we have values at risk, structures, interface type areas with homes and people living in them, with fuel conditions that are likely to cause severe fire behavior and severe fire conditions.
If you live in or near the red zone, you should be concerned. But the purpose of this program is not to scare you. It is rather to encourage you to become our partner in preparing for wildland fire. Homeowners have a critical role to play. Indeed, your actions before a fire may mean the difference between your home's survival and its destruction.
In most situations, we're not going to pull hose lines and squirt large amounts of water on a fire. We're going to basically peel it around the side of the structure and then use a barrier at some other point, either a river or a road or a ridge line, to help us get complete control of that fire. In lots of cases, time becomes of the essence, and if we don't have the time and the manpower to go in and do that, we may not protect that structure. And it may be located topographically in a location that is not good for us to be in as well.
You may have heard the term defensible space. Firefighters need it to protect your home and to protect their own lives while firefighting. It means an area of at least 70 feet around the home where trees, shrubs, and other combustible materials are kept to a minimum.
We'd like to see limited or non-combustible types of vegetation planted, and then it slowly tapers into the more natural forested setting.
We understand that you live or have a vacation home in the woods because of the woods. But you need to understand that if trees and brush surround your house, we may not be able to save it during times of intense fire activity. It may be too dangerous for firefighters to even try.
Unsafe meaning that the vegetation is too close where we cannot work in there, where the fire is actually going to burn the firefighters over.
Defensible space works. During the High Meadow Fire in 2000, 66 homes burned. During the Snaking Fire 2 years later, none did.
The reason so many structures were lost on the High Meadow Fire and no structures were lost on the Snaking Fire is primarily, above everything else, defensible space and the amount of clearing that homeowners and preparation that homeowners had done around their home sites.
70 feet of defensible space is a minimum because trees and scrub oak can easily produce flames that are as long as the height of the tree or brush. Pushed by the wind, these intense flames can quickly spread, especially uphill. This hilltop house survived, in part because the forest around it had been thinned.
Firefighter that was out here, he said, what you did probably saved your house. And no doubt, because it was awfully close, and you could see out back how close some of them burned. So I would tell everybody, cut the trees back away from your house.
Clearing trees and brush is hard work, but consider the alternative. Noah Larson retired from the Forest Service and lives in the Larkspur area. He's worked hard to clean up his large lot because he's seen the damage wildfire can do.
I could see a fire coming through this community with a strong wind, hot, dry conditions. I could just see it sweep through here. And, it would just take everything out. It could.
The Fagan family had just added a deck to their home in the woods. They had taken some precautions, but the home was one of 29 lost in their subdivision alone.
Never thought it would come through like this, that's for sure. The last time we saw it, was everything was green and pretty, and when you come back and it's all black sticks and just a chimney, a couple of appliances laying in the cinder block foundation. Plan ahead, because you might think it'll never happen, but we never thought it would happen either, and it sure does. It's a lot easier to thin your trees than to rebuild your house. Take it from me. It might seem like a lot of work, but it's not. It's well worth your effort.
Creating your own defensible space can be a very big job, and you may be wondering, where do I start?
We tend to encourage just general thinning and mainly the removal of ladder fuels. Ladder fuels are the fuels that would carry the fire from the ground level, the grass level, up into the trees.
Remember that phrase, ladder fuels, as you look around your property. Is there tall grass that could easily spread into some scrub oak, and from the oak to the pines or to your deck or house? By eliminating some of the rungs of that fuel ladder, you increase the chances the fire will stay on the ground, where it is much easier to fight and put out. Thinning brush and trees also enhances forest health. Another simple step is to rake up and get rid of large accumulations of pine needles, leaves, and dead branches on or around your home, especially in the eaves and gutters of the roof. Even a slow-moving fire like this can eventually creep up to your house and destroy it if you've evacuated and there are no firefighters present. Eliminate low-hanging limbs, live and dead, to a height of 10 feet above the ground, and cut back trees and brush that are in contact with a roof, deck, or any combustible material. Being fire-wise is a simple concept. It means being aware of your environment, of what fire can do, and what you can do to prevent the loss of your property.
The real key is to become educated and informed about what it takes to effectively protect your property by doing mitigation work. It doesn't have to be clear cutting, doesn't have to reduce the beauty of your home site and the natural ambiance of what you moved into the forest for. By doing that, you're reducing the threat to yourselves, to your neighbors, and to the firefighters that are potentially going to be at risk in trying to protect you and your property.
Do that work ahead of time. Mark your driveway, get information from your local fire department. They all have it available to them and to give to you, and we'll come out and do an assessment for your home.
You should not wait for the fire danger to become extreme before you act. Wildland fire is a year-round danger in the West. Nor should you believe that, because of the size and intensity of the Hayman fire, the risk of future fires has decreased.
The best way to look at the situation is to go down and see where the Hayman fire burned and see where it stopped, and then look at all of the communities that are between where the Hayman fire stopped and, for example, Highway 105. And it was amazing to see the amount of vegetation, dense trees and shrubs that are out there and that lie between where the Hayman fire stopped and where the communities are right now.
And even if the chances of another huge fire like the Hayman were low, if a small wildfire burned down only one house, and that house was yours, wouldn't that be big enough? It can happen.